Drive and drive and drive.
I was just gonna do
You're
it
the
for
one
you.
hosting this thing, Peter. I would hope you would know.
Me? And we'll do them together. 'Cause that way I can hand off to others. Uh-oh. Excuse me.
All right,
Bless
you
you,
guys are
Peter.
live.
Are we live?
You are?
Oh, look at
Carlos?
that, Peter.
Are we here?
Yeah.
Hello? Hey, Carlos, the YouTube says live in 23 hours. It looks like it was set for tomorrow's date.
Huh, let me check.
Dun, dun, dun. We are live.
Here you got an echo. And so do I.
No, I got you guys live on YouTube. Meta, Microsoft, Robinhood. You guys are live.
Okay, then. Good morning
Awesome.
or good afternoon. I'm so used to doing this in the morning. Good afternoon, everybody. I think we're going. Are we in the? We're in the chat room. We're in the chat room.
Yep.
Carl, I really don't see us on YouTube, but if everyone else says we're good,
Yep.
then we're good.
Here
Hey
we
guys,
go.
we're here to talk earnings. And we've got three big ones that we're going to talk about today. Meta, Microsoft, and Hood. Now, they're not the only ones having earnings today. In fact, we have got so many earnings tonight, right, that are happening. Carvana, Applied Digital, Qualcomm, what else we got? We've got Ford Motor Company, eBay, Western Digital. I mean, there's just a million earnings, but we're going to focus in on three. We'll just talk about essentially what are the big three tonight. And they've got some stuff in common. All three are at or near all-time highs. Microsoft would probably be the one, or sorry, Meta would be the one that's a little further away from its all-time highs. But what they do have in common is there's high expectations that they're going to overachieve their numbers. All of them have an expectation of some record earnings to be delivered. And all three of them, the expectation is heavy on their AI services. Now, the way they exhibit AI is a little bit different in each case. However, AI is expected to focus strongly in all of their earnings. So let's start with Meta since it's on the screen here. Meta is expected to deliver about $44.7 billion in revenue and $5.83 in terms of earnings. They are really expected to be able to show a strong AI picture. And as you probably know, Meta's been a little behind, I would argue, in the AI, race here. They've haven't quite sort of been at the forefront of this, but it's hard to tell who's in the lead, right? Because they use AI so differently. Meta, of course, is using a lot of AI in the back end, and they could be much farther ahead than we think. All I can tell you is from my phone, it is absolutely listening to me, and it's not long after I have a conversation with my wife when things start showing up in all of my Meta-related apps. So their AI is working just fine. But we're more interested in their earnings. We're interested in how they're delivering on, of course, marketing and advertising on their platform. And that's what we're going to be watching there. I'll let Jared tell you what the expected move is. We'll get to that in a minute. Microsoft, the strong focus is going to be on their cloud services and how that's being delivered. Of course, also, are they expanding the AI sales that they're doing? How are they selling AI to their customers? How integrated is it into their other service offerings? And is it becoming a bigger percentage of their expected revenue? So that's sort of the expectation on Microsoft's side. As we know, a lot of license revenue in there. They're very much, it's probably the most traditional of the three in terms of their business model. And frankly, I am surprised that they are sitting in as good a place as they are in their stock price. Of course, they've lost top spot here to Nvidia. They used to be the most valuable company on the planet, but they are no longer and haven't been for a few weeks now as Nvidia's taken over, and Nvidia's at what, $4.3 trillion right now. So yeah, they are well and away in that top spot. So Microsoft is chasing, but I'm not sure if they're ever going to catch them again. They're sitting at only about $3.8 trillion, and they're half a trillion dollars behind now. It's amazing. Anyways, all right. So that leaves us Robinhood, and Hood is going to be a very interesting story. The expectation is that their investment volumes are going to have increased, and they're going to see increased activity in terms of their trading initiatives. They have gone heavy into crypto as they've expanded the footprint of the types of services they've been offering. And this quarterly report has the expectation that it's going to show in their bottom line that that's delivering dividends. So we'll see how all three of these play. The numbers will be coming out after the close. It's 4:05 p.m. for all three when they come out. So we're going to be hot and heavy on all three, and we'll see which one hits the airways first. I mean, you'll know they are going to move. And maybe I'll hand it over to Jared at this point because he can tell us how much they're likely to move.
Thank you, Peter. So we'll coordinate through each one. Mike will give a bit more of an overview of what to kind of expect from the earnings, and I'll go over what's known as the expected move. But since Peter handed it off to me first, I'll go ahead and do the expected move for Meta, and then I'll shift back over to Mike. So welcome. First and foremost, it's kind of been a while since we've done the YouTube's earnings. So this is a format that we kind of found most familiar and probably offered a lot of value with regards to what to expect with these different earnings and what to look for as far as traders are concerned. So where I come in is I'm looking at the option market of all these different tickers that we're about to trade and trying to get a sense of how volatile the option market expects those moves to be so that we can, one, be prepared for that volatility, two, maybe take trades towards or against those particular price levels, and three, if something breaks, then we know something bigger is going on. So, the bigger the move, obviously, the more exciting it is, but most of the time there's sort of this normal expectation, and we're going to see if anything a little bit more devious comes out. So, as I mentioned, I'm getting a lot of this information from the options market. For Meta, I've gone ahead and shifted over to my platform's option series or the option chain. And I'm looking specifically at the weekly options for some sort of clue as to what the volatility would be. So in Meta's case, I'm looking at this upper number right here. It's essentially what the implied volatility is coming out to be right before earnings. And these are essentially all the option traders, whether you're hedging, speculating, taking a bet on direction, playing some sort of straddle or strangle into earnings, or anything in between. Every option market pricing is coming to about plus or minus 40. And that's going to be, for us, potential targets. So we have Meta right now trading probably going to close near 700, but right now it's trading at about 695. All I'm going to do is take that number, which plus or minus 40, and put it on my chart. So for us, this kind of offers some price targets that we can consider. And more importantly, you can also see what positions in the market might be impacted by a move. So let's say Meta were to go to the upside. I have it marked at about 740. That assumes we close at 700. You can move that down to about 735 if we can't get to 700 by the close. But it would essentially put Meta right at the all-time high. It potentially would lead to a breakout, and it would obviously put the stock back into a position of strength. It's been kind of fading for the past couple of weeks ever since it made the breach of all-time high. And then to the downside, we have 660. So if you're a new, I would say, position in Meta, or if you've been buying Meta maybe over the past couple of weeks, the expected move low kind of shows how much downside to expect for this particular earnings. It may not go there, and it might not even get close to 660, but that would be what the option market expects. And if you're hedging, that's also what it costs to hedge a position. So, it's kind of the culmination of what the option market expects and where all the technicals lie. The technicals on Meta suggest maybe a breakout, but there's also downside potential. And that's obviously where we're going to be focused depending on which way it goes. So, Mike, I'll let you talk a little bit about Meta before I shift over into the next one.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, thanks, Jared. Thanks, Peter. So, yeah, Meta, if we take a look at the daily chart, right? I mean, you can see that since mid April, this stock has been driving up to its all-time high, which is right there where Jared was talking about. A little bit higher than the expected move at about 748. But then you see Meta kind of start to consolidate around this. And I think that's because of some of the news that's out there, right? The drive up was really fueled by the AI that Peter talked about, where they are leveraging ad tools utilizing AI, and it's inviting investors or advertisers to come in and use those tools. And what I think investors are looking for in this earnings report is, how does that translate to revenue for Meta? As we all know, Meta sells our data. AI can speed that process up and create good algorithms to hopefully get that to process the data for those advertisers in a more efficient way. So I think me and Jared were talking a little bit earlier, that 700 level is where I thought they were going to kind of pin Meta. I think the FMOC kind of lowered that down, maybe 695 now. So yeah, if we lose, I think that 660 Meta could be in some trouble tomorrow. It may be a fun free fall for them, but if they can hold it, you can definitely look possibly for a breakout above that 735 once it gets back up above that all-time high. So, and then since Jared went first, I'll just transition right into Meta or Microsoft and then hand it back over to you, Jared. So Microsoft, as Peter mentioned, Microsoft's also investing heavily in AI. But what's also interesting is they are investing in quantum as well. So they've released a quantum chip known as Major Ana 1, and they're hoping that chip in their products is going to allow them to be on top of that movement. And I think a lot of people, investors alike, are seeing that as a potential movement, and they want to see what Microsoft is going to do. They something that hasn't been highly reported is Microsoft's also been kind of restructuring around AI. They've been laying people off and reprioritizing departments and making it more efficient for themselves. And they've also been doing some upgrades, if you haven't noticed, to your Microsoft products, right? Edge 365 and all that, by implementing Copilot, as well as other aspects of the quantum computing that they're trying to install in there. The chart clearly in an uptrend. I mean, this thing hasn't closed below the 9 moving average on the daily chart yet since May. So it's driving up again. It's right by all-time highs at 518.29. It's tested it a couple times this week. It's pulling back down to that 9 moving average, and we'll see what the earnings come out. I think, like Peter mentioned, investors are looking for some big numbers here, and if we get that and we can get above that 518, we'll use that kind of as the support level to see if when it retests it, if we can't continue that breakout, or if it's going to come back down. But Microsoft's definitely in an uptrend. So
yeah, good point.
Oh,
the
yeah,
point
go
on the
ahead.
quantum, Mike, we have to remember Microsoft did declare 2025 as the year of quantum. So, or the year for quantum computing, as they say that all companies need to start to prepare for the advent of quantum. Now, we haven't seen much manifestation of that. I mean, we've seen a lot of quantum stocks sort of get headlines a few times, but the quantum hasn't really made its way mainstream into business activities. So you're right, Mike. There's going to be some focus on Microsoft to sort of put their money where their mouth is and demonstrate what that means for them and their business.
Yep, definitely.
Perfect. So yeah, I kind of reflect a lot of what Mike said there
I will
with the
mention,
quantum side.
yeah, I just like,
Good.
Brian?
yeah, sorry, just wanted to mention, it's interesting to note that all of the stock short interests have increased on both Microsoft, Meta, and Hood over the last earnings. So some people are taking a bet that maybe it's getting toppy and there's going to be a sell-off regardless.
So when it comes to Microsoft and the expected move, I kind of have the technical chart as well. Mike mentioned the stock has not dropped trend ever since its last earnings. It's probably one of the more impressive drives that I've seen on a daily chart. But coming into earnings, we have a plus or minus $20 expected move. Once again, just because this is a relatively new for those who haven't been part of the earnings series, I'm looking at Microsoft's current weekly options. Right now, it's showing about 19.6, so I'm gonna just round up to a nice whole 20. And similar to Meta, I'm guessing where it's gonna close. It looks like it's about to close at 510, maybe 512.50 at best. So plus or minus 20 from those prices brings Microsoft with an upper expected move of about 530, a lower expected move of about 490. And when you think about percentages, this stock is a $510 product approximately. That's about plus or minus, I mean, it's barely 4%. So, we're really only dealing with a pretty small percentage on Microsoft, very low volatility expectation, which could lead to a little bit more than what the option market is priced in, especially if there's a little bit of a surprise or even a beat, a significant beat. So I'd be on the lookout for maybe something a little bigger on Microsoft, but the option market has deemed about 20 bucks to be normal. So we're going to stick with the normal for now and see what happens. Um, I don't really think I have anything else for Microsoft, but it's a really nice chart. So when it comes to charts, that's a good chart. I like that chart quite a bit. So back to you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful chart. If you get in on that after earnings last time, right? I mean, no reason to get out of it for an entire quarter. So great. So moving
Well,
on
if you
to
didn't know
Hood.
Jared,
Oh, go
that's a
for it.
big statement. Jared doesn't compliment charts very often, so it's really pretty if Jared likes it.
Yeah, that's for sure. So moving on to Hood. I mean, what can we say about Hood? This is a stock that was beat down, opened around $50 around the year to date, and has really picked up steam after, you can say, that market sell-off from Liberation Day. And as Peter mentioned, this is because they started getting involved in crypto. We know that the Bitcoin has taken off, but the reason is they're providing access to users to trade on their platform. And the investors are hoping that these new offerings that they're giving them is going to translate to some type of revenue for Hood. They're also targeting, which I kind of found a little bit interesting, futures and in something that they haven't done before, with crypto. So kind of like a crypto perpetual futures is what they call it. And it's something that's there. They also have authorized a $1.5 billion buyback program that they've kind of gone over, but typically that's not good for the stock. But as we see, right, we got the stock driving up. So Robinhood, who knows what we're going to get. You can look at the chart again, all-time highs. Let's see what the revenue comes out at and earnings per share. There is definitely some big expectations that it's going to overproduce with how the stock's been performing lately.
All right. Well, so yeah, another good looking chart when it comes to quarterly performance on this one. A little bit of backstory there too, because Hood's growth right now is actually faster than what some of the market pricing has been able to appreciate the stock at. It's actually led to some of this larger surge, and a lot of what Mike spoke on is part of that growth. So they've had almost a resurgence, not only this year, but even a couple of quarters back. Investors were starting to see a little bit of pickup on the growth periods. And obviously, the market has been rewarding it with price appreciation. So if Microsoft was a lower volatility and Meta, let's say, was somewhere around 7 or 8%, with a $40 move and a $700 stock, about seven, maybe 6, 7%. Hood's got the highest volatility, but it's also got the lowest number. It's just the share of the stock that dictates it. So we have about $105 stock right now, maybe 106 by the close if we can get it to stop moving around. And the option market is priced at this moment about $10. So, when you translate that into percentage, that's approaching 10% volatility. And for Hood, I think it's deserved. This tends to be a higher beta name. It's got a little bit more volatile nature. And there's a bit more uncertainty with, I would say, continuation of their growth period. Investors are probably looking to see if that's going to impact the following quarter, given that they're sitting on a lot of unrealized profits from the past. So potential for some hedging here, definitely looking to see if there's a lot of volume and open interest at different strikes near the expected move. And, just at a quick glance, actually looking at the option trade today, a lot of volume coming in both at 100 and 97 to the downside. But if we're bullish, we also see volume coming in at 120. So there's actually kind of a lower downside pricing as far as where trade is taking place, and there's more speculative bulls coming in higher than the expected move. Um, Kind of an interesting one. We'll see how that reacts when the data comes out, but our expected move numbers are plus or minus 10. So we have 115 pretty much hitting the all-time high and going slightly above it. And then 95 to the downside. That would really just put pressure on maybe the last week or two of trade. But overall, very strong chart and could potentially just make a trading range once all is said and done. So that's our volatility for Hood, and I think it's well deserved with the trade that's been taking place on it so far.
Yeah. Patel makes a Mitten makes a really good point. I mean, Hood is certainly expanding their offering in terms of what they're coming to with market with the digitalization and betting through contracts, etc. So it's going to be an interesting call to see what commentary they have about that.
Woohoo. Oh, Tesla.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
give us some likes. We
We
certainly
get ready
appreciate that,
here.
and it's free.
Yeah. Got about
Cool.
9 minutes until the data is supposed to be released. Now, sometimes it doesn't always go exactly at the timing. 4:05 is the targeted time for all three of these to be released. But every once in a while, it's like a minute early or a couple of minutes late. So if anything, I would expect Hood to go a little early and Microsoft to go a little late. But you never know. So maybe that's a bias on my part.
We
I
might
don't
get
know.
some early movement into it too with Microsoft. Just
Well,
some
yeah,
Yeah.
often
repositioning.
the stock price will start to move irrespective of data release, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, we absolutely we can expect that.
Yeah, I've usually found that the volume starts coming in maybe right at the close on stocks like Microsoft. Hood, I would expect right at 405, and Meta, I've seen it report early. I don't know if we'll get the data at the same time as the volume comes in. So unfortunately, we can't prepare for when they release the information when the market starts to move. So we kind of have to be ready like right at the close, and then 5 minutes after is when we expect most of them to come out. They like to trick us.
Yes, they do.
Keep
That is
keep
for
us
sure.
guessing. All
So what's
right.
y'all's
Well,
Peter, I
favorite
see
of
Beavis
those
and
three?
Butthead
Which
are working on
I
your car.
my favorite is Meta. I really like that 700 level, and to see if it can continue to drive up or sell off if it can't hold that level.
Mhm.
Meta,
So,
eh? Really?
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's just been flirting with that level for a while. It
Hmm.
tries to stay above it. Now it's pulled back through it, so we'll see. I have a sore spot with Meta, so
Yeah, I can.
but it's all
That has
good.
been a tough one recently.
So
Okay, well, we'll see where they go. I'm while we were doing that, my 1 to 10 trade hit. Didn't really get a 1 to 10, but Tesla was looking strong. So I actually went long on Tesla. A little unusual for me, but it actually moved well. Now we're sitting up almost $2 from my entry. So
nice.
we'll see. I
Nice,
mean, I got a minute
nice
left.
trade, Peter.
Thanks. Thanks. That move just a few minutes ago was quite unexpected. I'll be honest. It just sort of popped all of a sudden on some volume. So hey, I'll take it. And like we said, I need the money. It's, uh, it's it's only funny because it hurts so much.
Yes, I know.
All right. Well, let's get back to our 30 seconds to go here in this market. Again, the real fun happens once the market closes and we head towards the earnings profile. So we'll see what between these three, Meta, Microsoft, and Hood, what happens. They're all three of them feel like they're just biding their time.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, don't forget, we have tons of other earnings happening. If you want to watch some of the other stuff, there's a good list. Go to tradingterminal.com. All right, I just got out of my trade on Tesla. Look at that. I even got 219 fill. Sorry, 319 fill. Awesome. Okay. So here we
Nice.
go. Let's see what they do. Microsoft, the early gainer here.
Yeah. Do you have Benzinga, Peter? No,
I don't know,
I
but I
got it.
can.
I got it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll listen for him.
Okay. Oh, website status suspicious. Really, my computer filters are preventing that.
keeping an eye on all three of them on my
Yes.
screen, but really just looking for the range here. So try and get to one side and then see what happens.
Well, as you mentioned, Jared, yeah, that's important, right? For it to move one way or the other, either to the top of the range or the low of the range, and then we get to see what it does. So,
Yep. You can either bring it there, you can take it back, you can take it
mhm.
out. There's so many ways to carry the dog and the fence and all the
The dog
Carry
behaviors.
and the
the dog.
fence.
All right. That's quite an
All
analogy.
right. Well, SPY had quite the rally into the close with the Qs as well.
Yeah, and look,
Yeah.
I mean, no surprises happened this afternoon. We were all looking for that Fed rate announcement, which of course happened at 2 o'clock, and then the press conference with Powell as usual. I mean, it was pretty much business as usual, I would say, for the Fed. It's been how many quarters now? It's been a while that they've been holding this rate steady and have not really, decided to move it. So they once again decided to sort of stay the course and sort of resist the pressure of the current administration to change the rates. Now, that being said, they did acknowledge that it wasn't unanimous between all of the Fed presidents about what the rate change should be. There was two different Fed chairs or heads of the different Fed departments that said that they wanted to actually reduce rates, but being that they were outvoted by the majority, they did choose to keep the rate stable. So this really just lends pressure to the September rate, which really looks like it's going to be a cut now, doesn't it? I mean, with them publicly saying two
It
members already
does.
were thinking on a cut. I
Well,
mean,
here
it feels like,
we get a jump on the
but
SPY.
nothing out yet.
whoa, yeah. Look at
Microsoft
that.
popping.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Here it is.
So, whoa, 30, what is that? 30,
Microsoft
$35
reported.
move?
Yeah, so I said
Yeah,
Microsoft had a
Nvidia's moving up
relatively
too.
low expected move, and therefore a breach was probably likely. It's a big breach, right?
Revenue 76.4
Qs and
billion.
SPY are popping as well. A slight move on Hood, but probably nothing earnings related yet.
$1.65 in earnings for Microsoft. So
Oh, look at that. I was wrong. Microsoft is out first with their numbers. All right. Okay.
it'd
Good to
be
know.
and a beat for Microsoft. It's interesting
Uh,
that you were talking about Jerome Powell, because on Benzinga news, there's a post at 4 o'clock that Powell puts the brakes on the rate cut. So for September.
Okay.
So
well,
that could
Hood's
be
up at
in
yesterday's
question now.
high
there we go. All right.
and moving up again.
I'm feeling reckless today. I took that pause there and tried an entry, just a couple of shares. I feel like we're live here. You got to do something fun. So 537 was my entry, roughly 537.22 is what I got filled at. And I just took
Yeah,
a few shares off with the $10 pop. I didn't quite get $10 on it, but
So
well,
now we'll
Peter,
see.
that's got to be a disappointment not getting a $10 move.
Well,
Right.
I mean, I have few enough shares that I mean, I only took 100 shares. I just wanted to see what was going to happen because it can move heavily, right? I didn't want to get caught. What if it went all the way back down? Then I would have
Yes.
been very upset. So, anyways,
You're
just play.
just trying to
Just
pay
play
for
safe.
that car repair.
Yeah, I am. I am. Yes, indeed.
Exactly. Oh, here we go. Hood's getting some volume now.
Meta just
Pretty
popped
good.
too.
Oh yeah, look at
Yeah,
Meta.
Meta just popped up as well here. Yep.
Right to that 735 on Meta.
So I'm taking a bit of a long here on Hood. See if we get to 110.
So with Microsoft doing an expected move breach, I'm trying to see if Meta drives towards it because I think the volatility is well priced on Meta. We should be seeing 740 here.
Right.
735 if we actually take the closing price, and that is where the top of this range is so far. So let's see what sort of price action we have at 735. I'm gonna move my expected move down, given we did close a little lower.
I'm going to get out
714
of
for
my
Meta earnings per share beat
Hood
by
trade here.
$2.
Just down a little bit here at 108.
They beat on revenue too, largely.
Wow. Look at this
Well,
go.
SPY and Qs are
Interesting.
moving up nicely.
Nvidia is also moving higher after hours here.
So now we're getting slightly out of bounds on Meta. This would be a breakout for the all-time high.
Yep.
And then Hood, I do see Hood moving, but it's not quite as voluminous. So I'm kind of waiting to see if that one picks up a little bit better later. Really liking what Meta's doing here. We're breaking pretty much all-time highs here.
Yeah, Meta had a big earnings beat,
Mhm.
so they put their money where their mouth was.
They put their
Right at
Oculus where the
yeah.
eyes are.
There's a new all-time high,
Mhm.
Yeah, shoot, there goes
750.
Hood is going up now again.
Well, Microsoft seems to have found an area just as happy to sit around at. I didn't try
Yeah,
the same trick on Meta. I figured I couldn't be lucky twice in a row.
That one
well,
didn't
certainly
break its expected
this
move as
price action
quickly.
is having a pretty positive impact on the indexes. You've even got Tesla and Nvidia moving up in sympathy.
Mhm.
It does look like it's going to 110.
Robinhood 42 cents,
Hmm. Is
20
that a
cent
beat?
Oh,
beat.
Nice.
that's a beat, yeah.
Nice. So we're beating everything. Everything's beaten.
Everything's
That's
beat.
good. That's a 25% beat if it got 42 cents versus 31 expected. So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
UCOM is, I think they've beat on their top and bottom line, but they're selling off here.
So yeah, 42 cent beats the 31 cent estimate Hood had, or Benzinga has them at 29 cents. So it's still big. They beat revenue too by almost 100 million.
Mm.
So
Well,
we're beating
So
some good
Meta
moves.
Platforms
look at
Q3
Meta.
sales 47.5 billion to 50 billion versus 45.87 as was the analyst estimate. So it's guiding slightly higher for Q3.
Hood at 111.
Nice trade, Gary, on Meta.
Microsoft still doing nothing.
Or Mike, or yeah, Meta. You took Meta, right? Oh yeah, Peter confused me. He's in Microsoft.
There's 110 on Hood.
Yeah, so for Microsoft, usually when I see a breach, I look for a double, and I think that kind of gives Peter's trade and anyone in it the idea of like 550 because we're
Yes.
we're exceeding volatility boundaries. Meta is also a breach, and because of the breakout, I think this one's kind of open to interpretation. Um, it only priced $40, so you know, anytime we
Yeah.
get maybe $20 higher, it's gonna really open up, especially if we clear all-time high. I'm waiting to see if Hood gets there. It is moving okay, but it's not really breaking anything, and it's testing its old all-time high, which was created a few weeks back. So, um, yeah, I think Meta is probably the most interesting. Microsoft being a breach is also really nice because they only really price 4% of volatility, and that didn't seem like a lot. Microsoft can move a little bit better than that. So,
Oh,
Wow,
why couldn't Meta
Hood
have hit
just is
first?
Hood coming
dropping pretty
back.
hard here.
See if
Yeah, I
Meta could
haven't
have hit
seen anything
first.
on Carvana yet.
Carvana, no, not yet.
And Meta. Drive.
yeah, I think Meta is going to be on everybody's watch list
Yep,
tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding.
definitely.
It's making the better move. So I was really happy with Microsoft at first. Now I've got a little FOMO. I missed the good one.
That's how it works, Peter. You take care of the trade you're in, And then if you can
Yes.
set a stop loss, which we can't in after hours,
Yep.
then you go to
Yeah.
another trade.
You are 100% correct.
Yeah,
So you're right. I shouldn't look my gift horse in the mouth just
Carvana
because
had
there's a prettier
obviously
horse
some
out
good
there.
numbers as well. It's moving up pretty strongly here, but I don't see in the news yet. I don't see what the numbers were.
Carvana here. Carvana revenue of 4.84 billion versus an estimate of 4.58 billion, and hits a
Hmm.
record Q2 sales with 143,000 cars sold and 601 million in adjusted EBITDA, earnings before interest and taxes. Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. There's some numbers on Carvana.
Man, this was
Good
a
coming back.
$100 stock a year ago.
Mm.
It's now 360. Nvidia is really benefiting from the move on Meta and Microsoft. It's gone through 180. I suspect it'll be gapping up tomorrow as well.
Looks like it
Yeah,
at this point.
so whenever you have mega market caps reporting, typically this is going to move the entire index and you get a lot of arbitrage
Yeah,
trade going on. So what we're probably going to see is all mega market cap tech stocks probably following in some sort of sympathy, maybe not Apple, because Apple's not really doing AI at this point and probably going to hand it off to some other company. But with
Yes.
Meta and Microsoft trading this way, the Nasdaq has nowhere else to go but up. So that'll boost any of the semiconductors, anything really in tech, I think is going to have a pretty nice drive after hours. And it is something to be said. Anyone who
easy.
got short during the FOMC today is now underwater on this earnings beat. So
There we go. Taking a
There you
big
go,
right.
partial
Peter.
here.
There you go, Peter. 550. I
Yeah.
see it.
As soon as I needed to see the bid over 550, as soon as I saw that, I took myself a big partial. We've got just a few shares left now, so we'll see what it does. If it goes back below this area of consolidation, the 544, I'll just get out. Otherwise, I'll hold on for a few minutes. Let's see where it's going to go.
Meta's still trying to grind up. It's almost up here at 770, which
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I was
watching
really
Meta right now
surprised.
because I'm in a small position on the breakout here, and
Oh,
every
nice.
single dollar they're holding the bid up pretty well, so it's kind of easy to tier $5 moves. I'm
Interesting.
but Zuck is okay. I like that job.
Hey, Jared, we lost you for a second. I think you're back now.
Oh, did we lose Jared?
Yeah, I had a
Oh,
little
Jared.
blip
Oh,
right there.
there he
Y'all
is.
can hear me?
Yep.
We got you.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I'm using too much data over here. Got too many platforms open.
Computer can't handle it.
I'm doing pretty good. I assume that my sound is pretty clear. I'm running all this through my
Yeah,
phone right here, being on the road, so at least not at home.
it's actually pretty good, Peter, for
That's impressive. Better
being
than
on
most
the road.
hotels.
Yes,
Running it through
way
my
better
phone.
than hotels in Europe, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, Carvana's just continues to move higher here. Whew.
Yeah, look at that.
I think it
Carvana,
383.
might get to 400. The
Wow,
rate
what a
it's going.
move.
what is it? CRV?
Amazon
CR
popping up
CVNA.
as well.
CVNA.
Yeah. Carvana is at an all-time high.
Wow,
This
look
is
at
an
that.
all-time high.
So we got a few movers
And
after market,
funny Apple,
everybody. All up. It's
yeah,
all up here
and
after
Apple's
hours.
doing nothing.
Well, they're not in the
Absolutely
spotlight right now.
zilch.
It's not Apple's moment.
No, they haven't come out with their new
Yeah.
camera on their redesigned Apple phone yet to get everybody excited.
Yeah,
Sorry, am I
Tim Apple,
biased?
better call.
Yeah.
I think
bit of
Tim Apple needs to
cynicism.
be
Tim Apple.
replaced.
Well,
All
Apple
right.
is pretty
Well,
clear that they're
I
not
have a
going to be
meeting
joining the
downtown, so I'm going to
AI.
have to get going. But this was an interesting earnings season. And
Yeah.
we'll, yeah, looks like we're probably heading for a nice gap up tomorrow, unless we get some bad news overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like these earnings expected move breaches that it adds a little bit more volatility into the mix. And then it also gives us kind of like a backside level just in case there is a pullback. We can use the expected moves as maybe an area of support. So these drives are great when you're in them. They're a little bit unstable the next day, but oftentimes option traders will kind of dictate the support based on where the old positions were. So if you took like straddles or strangles, there's some profit taking going on. People who are selling the expected move are going to want to bail on any pullback. So, it's a combination of the earnings, the option traders who are positioned at these prices, and then more importantly, the fact that we have another day or two to kind of see if the market really accepts all of this breakout potential, because both of these names are breaking highs. And Hood is close, but not quite there. So we'll see what Hood's up
Yeah,
to.
Hood is sinking.
What's it
It's
sinking
down
below?
below
you're sinking.
where we went out today. So we'll see if it can even hang on to this area of support. So
One stock that kind of sold off that we didn't really cover was Qualcomm. It's tanked about $10, so it's given back quite a bit today. So
Qualcomm. Yeah, you're right.
ciao,
Yeah,
everybody.
let's
I'm going to head off.
okay.
Okay, Brian, take care.
Later, Brian. See you in the
Yeah,
morning.
I think Meta's going to be fun to trade tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to see how our morning traders handle all this volatility. They're gonna have to figure things out. So I'll be assisting in the morning, but when you have this much volatility, you have to be a little careful on the first open because the whole point is like we have to balance this area out for a bit. And if we don't drive at these highs, the pullbacks are going to be pretty wide. So
Yeah.
But I love what I'm seeing, all these breaches. Even Peter, the fact that you got the double, that's perfect. I mean,
The double.
the good old,
Yeah.
you basically took the dog into a different yard. There's a bigger yard. You took it into the neighbor's yard.
Well, I was using your number, right? Because as you
Mhm.
say, if you sort of breach the expected, then you sort of get to the move. So if it
Mhm.
dropped back, I could quickly get out, but felt like a good bet anyways, and
Yeah.
glad that it worked out.
And I mean, Meta's almost a double at this point. I guess it would be
770-ish, 775.
yeah, like
75.
775. Yeah, exactly. So we're on approach. We're probably hitting like some fib extensions right now. A little bit of a struggle with some orders, but if it wants to keep going, I think this is open
Oh,
air. So who knows? Sorry,
there's a
that's about
question on
2%.
YouTube that I'm supposed to answer, but I'm on my travel laptop, so I don't have enough screen space. What's the
Well,
question?
let me tell you, the question is, can you trade post market? Can anyone trade post market? Do we need special access? I'll answer that. I mean, generally, most platforms, it depends on what platform you're using, but most platforms you can trade after hours. There's a couple things that are different. You need to know that if you're used to putting stop orders or limit orders, they generally won't work after hours. So don't try and use those. If you use those especially as protection, right? Know that
Yeah, they don't work.
you got to manage the trade. They will not execute. So even if you can put the order in, but often it'll just ignore the order or will not execute at it. So yeah, you got to be careful about that. So it's
Yeah.
hand management all the time.
Yep.
The other thing is volume is later, so keep that in mind. Even something like Microsoft. I mean, I'm happily trading Microsoft here, but I'm very conscious of the fact that the orders are thinner, which means if you look at the level two, I could just see fewer shares available. So don't expect to get filled exactly where you would hope. The spread is bigger. Right? Like I have to give this a bigger range because, you could get filled even on something like Microsoft, which normally has a spread of what, like 5 to 10 cents maybe. Now we're looking
Yeah.
at 60 cents to a dollar. So I'm sort of expecting that when I hit the button, I might get filled even a dollar away from where I think it's going to be. So be aware of those two things, and you should be able to trade again on any platform. The only thing I'll note for you is it depends if you're trading live. It depends on the size of your account and the type of account you've got. If you've got an account that you can't trade on margin, there might be some restrictions, again, depending on the broker you've got and the account that you'd have to check certainly with your provider. But generally, look, if you're new at it, I don't normally recommend trading after hours just because there's more volatility, right? There's
Yep.
more risk and it's a little more difficult to manage.
Yep.
However, there is opportunity. So just trade with that in mind, and maybe you take a smaller size and you're much more cautious, like I am, right? I took a smaller size. I'm much more cautious in managing this. And, as soon as I saw any sign of danger, I would just abort this thing. I'm not going to risk, too much money on this just in case. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Meta's back above 770 now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
feeling kind of like my final tears up here. Both of these stocks are breaching, which is great.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we can
My
get
Microsoft is.
775, that'd be nice out of Meta.
I don't have orders in that range. Well, I have a block order. Yeah. I'm kind of looking at the level two.
So,
We just found like a balanced area right above 770, so I think it's gonna struggle for a second, but if I can get 775, yeah, that's gonna be chef's
yeah,
kiss.
it's gonna be nice.
But
So,
every $5 I think is a good partial when you're taking these kind of moves.
Look at this. Well, speaking of which, I'm another $5 on Microsoft. So I don't
yeah.
have much left,
Falling
but I am
back
going to
here.
take half of what I do have left off. Oh, I didn't quite get filled at 555. So there you go. There's a good example. I hit the button. The bid said 555.10, and I think I got filled at 554.50. So that's 60 cents off where I thought I was going to get filled. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
They
I
tried
mean,
to pull
Meta's
back
spread
there.
right now is going between 60 cents and a dollar.
Yeah,
So,
we just fell through 770, but something picked up
yeah.
pretty fast. So I'm assuming they're gonna keep going, but I'm kind of I'm low on shares at this point, and I don't want to chase. So
It's a good problem to have, isn't it, Jared? I
Yeah.
yeah,
mean, I'm in the
I
same position,
mean,
but
honestly, if we're playing like volatility, Microsoft has Meta beat right now. Microsoft is doing a great move. That
Oh
is
yeah. Look at that.
2.5 times bigger than what's expected on the option market. So I
mm,
think if we open in this area, straddle and strangle players are going to be really happy with Microsoft because they really didn't price in a lot of volatility. 4%
mm.
is not a lot. We can do that in a couple days. So I'm not sure what the option market was really pricing. I guess they got it wrong.
They they were too focused
Well,
on the Fed today.
maybe. I mean, come on,
Didn't
let's
do
face
their
it.
job.
Microsoft isn't really known as a high volatility type stock. I mean, it can get good steady moves, but not.
Yeah, but 4% for an earnings, like
Yeah,
I mean,
fair enough.
like we can
Let's
do that
see.
on a good day, you know. It's not a lot. I think they
Uh,
underpriced the earnings even if it was going down. The
well,
thing was probably going to move at least 6, 7%. And I mean, what's it up right now? About 8%?
The 2-week ATR is only $6.46. So I mean, it certainly was well above that. And
Okay.
we have to keep in mind that this thing has what's the institution? See, institutional ownership is almost 74%. So
Wow.
that provides a lot of stability compared to something like, Robinhood, where institutional ownership is down around 50%.
Right.
And Carvana says it's 85%. Really?
Yeah.
What?
Carvana has
Surprising.
been a weird turnaround kind of play, and it's proven itself. And I'm actually shocked at how far the turnaround has gone. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
pretty
interesting.
stable business now, so it was almost bankrupt, and they turned it.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, right, they
Yeah.
did really good during the pandemic. And then right after the pandemic, there was a huge concern that they were carrying too much inventory for cars that they'd overpaid for. So
Hmm.
that was a big concern. And then, right, business picked up again, and now they're doing good. Record volumes, selling that inventory. Some they did actually have to offload at a loss, but I guess those little what do you call it, like the vending machine, the car vending machines are working for them. They're freaky to see. I keep seeing the one in Vegas when I go there. It's just so weird. But anyways,
There's one
cool
in
though.
Kansas City that I drive by on the interstate
Really?
when I go to Lenexa and then to Kansas City. And this last time that I drove by it, empty,
Really?
nothing there.
Wow.
I was like, well, there was one car, so I know it was still active, but I'm like, normally this thing has cars everywhere in it, completely
Right.
emptied out. So
Wow.
it's probably good news selling all those cars.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Matt is running out of steam here. We got some bidders trying to get in at cheaper prices, so they're gonna stall my momentum for now.
Hmm.
Um,
Microsoft is heading back to 550 here.
Hood is actually flat on the session. We're testing the open price of the day, so I guess if you played Hood into today's earnings, you're not down, but you're also not happy. So we'll see if that changes in just a minute, but it's kind of a shame. I wish it was a little bit more volatile. Join the party here. Yeah. Matt is putting in a 5-minute engulfing, so I'm probably pivoting
yeah,
right now. Oh,
still going to be fun for tomorrow. That's
oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Plenty of
Yep.
volatility.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's gonna be a good day tomorrow, I think.
We're
For
gonna be
trading.
dip buying the first 15-minute oversolds, and we're gonna play off
All
of the
right.
lows. That's gonna be great.
Yep. All right, we just went below 550 at Microsoft. I'm getting out the rest of my shares. I think I'm going to call it a day, guys. We've yeah, thanks a lot for joining us for the earnings. Hopefully you either took advantage or at least learned something from this session. Happy to have you with us. Give us a thumbs up and a like there. It helps us on the channel and the growth. And we'll be doing this again tomorrow. We got some more earnings tomorrow night, so we'll be back with you then. That's right, Carlos. Same time, same place for tomorrow.
Yep.
same
Absolutely.
time,
Okay,
same
so sounds
place.
good. So I'd like to
Awesome.
thank
Take care,
everybody that
everybody.
was here. Yeah, Brian and Mike and Jared, and of course, Carlos in the background helping coordinate everything. And of course, myself. Thanks, everybody. On behalf of Variable Traders, have a great night. See you tomorrow morning.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.